I might have purchased a toolbox bigger than I have room for. Does it look like I have a room for a toolbox that goes from there to here? No, I don't have room for it. I thought I'd bring you guys along, show you my new toolbox, and kind of show you the process of trying to make it fit and hopefully organizing some of my stuff just a little bit better. So I actually have in my shop, I think 8 toolboxes right now. For various different things. I'll kind of go over them, what I use them for. Some of them are just purely storage. But this is my main toolbox. It's a 52-inch Husky. Bought this from Home Depot, I don't know, 8 years ago? I'd have to look it up. Did a video putting lights in all the drawers. You can see them lighting up. So, I've overgrown that one a long time ago. I picked up these three from a guy that used to repair boats from an auction for dirt cheap. And I kind of just use these for storing just random little things. This is a US General. That's a Mac Tools, and I think that one's a Kennedy. But I don't use them a ton, a little bit, but they just kind of store junk. So we need to do something with them. That toolbox right there holds mainly just machining equipment. And then there is a filing cabinet toolbox right here that I did a video on making. And the toolbox before I had my big Husky right here that I jammed over in the corner that just stores a bunch of specialty equipment. Like pullers and stuff like that, for just specialty equipment that doesn't get used hardly ever, but when you need it, you need it. So this entire space up here is just garbage collection. I don't do anything with it. So we got parts to Polaris transmission I rebuilt. We got some custom graphic stuff, a gas can thing I painted, another thing I painted, a bunch of little projects I've done videos on. Just kind of get tucked up out of the way. Nuts and bolt collection, tons of battery storage, Makita, DeWalt, there's Milwaukee, there's Ryobi. It's all in there, but that just gets junk storage. So I decided, let's pick up a toolbox as big as possible so we don't outgrow it. I'm going to have to get rid of some of these or move them to sheds or something else. But we got one that cuts my lathe about in half and goes all the way into that corner. I think it's a couple inches from that corner. I think it's about 9 feet from there to that corner. So all that needs to come out. Shelving, everything. I got to tear it out. The toolbox actually goes all the way up to here. So it's even way taller. I'm not actually sure where that's gonna fit. This is storage compartment over the top hutch. It says 200 plus pounds. Well, I should say 300 pounds just to be safe. So 270. Pallet jack. You're doing a lot of work. Just you're gonna unbox it exactly where it's at. 416, but that's two different pieces. So just this is 100 and it said 113.5, now it says 114.5. So we're roughly 302 pounds is what the top hutch is. 300 pounds, 100 pounds. It says this one's 800 plus pounds. Side cabinet, 455 pounds. It says 350. So yeah, a little bit more than 350. And the main toolbox is, I don't even know, 1,055 pounds. I mean, there's gonna be 50 pounds on this one worth of crate pallets. Some of these ones are light. I bet you those are only like 20 pounds. They're very thin pallets. You know, gantry crane is one of those things you never need till you do, and then it is invaluable. That's pretty cool that you can lift to 2,000 pounds and just support it. Floor to ceiling fun. This is a little overwhelming how much stuff I have to move. It's a great way to see what you have. I have probably 20 plus DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee batteries that all work, plus all the ones that are already on the tools, but didn't realize I had so many. So it's looking pretty bare. What did that came out of, like a window AC unit, like a vacuum pump for AC. There's a little drill powered air compressor I built out of a what was it, a refrigerator compressor. Spent way too much time designing the latch where you could open it, but then I have this latch mechanism that when you pull up the handle it locks it. When you drop the handle, it doesn't. You have to go watch that video if you want to see it. Spent way too much time designing that, but you essentially insert a drill into there, and there's an air chuck. What else we got? Old projects. The gas can, the jerry can. This slides inside of a metal jerry can, and this is like a toolbox with 3 different layers. The fire extinguisher that is an air tank to fill up tires. We have the car water pump turned into a drill powered water pump. We have our tire bead breaker. We have our high lift jack log splitter. We have a drill powered grease gun and a few others, but contemplating my next move. Is there any reason to keep scrap steel in the shop if you completely forget you have it because you hide it behind a toolbox? Probably not. Looks like a nice piece of 1/2-inch plate right there. Bunch of weird stuff. We got some taller stuff up here, but I never use it. So I guess it needs to go outside and just get rusty. You got the bottom? Yep. So they actually give you a ramp in the bottom drawer to wheel this thing off the pallet, which is kind of cool. So I've got to put the top on there, and might as well use power. So we have this vehicle lift. It'll lift pretty close to the right height. I think this weighs 300 pounds. We'll do it out here. I have a piece that goes on top of it, but that won't fit through my garage door. So I'll have to do that later, but that's only, I think, 200 pounds. Perfect. I was shutting the drawers and they were just sounding heinous. Look at it, listen to this. I'm like, what is that? These little channels right here, these little bars actually lock it. You see, move the key. Let's see. But those are banging. So I put some grease behind them. Now listen. So I just squirt some grease kind of in behind them, try to get them filled in, and that'll act as my cushion. What's up? You just enjoying a nap? I woke you up. Hey, you want to put some excitement in your eyes? Listen to me. Hey, look, listen. I think I saw a squirrel. There was a squirrel outside, and he was bad-mouthing you. Yeah. He said you're slow and sluggish. Like a cat. That's a side cabinet, so that needs to be hoisted up that way. And I think these are just temporary feet. You take off afterwards. It's over 400 pounds, but there's really nothing great to grab onto. I guess these holes, if these got scratched, because this goes against the other one. These are the top ones. These are double layered, I can see in there, so maybe I'll just hook a chain right to that and lift it up. I don't know, I could probably just lift through this little grommet hole too with the end of the hook. These are heavy. These are thick steel. There are no corners cut on this. We're just little boxes. Wow. I mean, that right there weighs like 4 pounds. I don't know what they plan on putting in there. There's the liners, it looks like. And a screwdriver mount. Oh, that is thick. There's 2, 4, 6 bolts that bolt these together, and those are just temporary casters. So I need to lean that in. You see the gap up there? I need to lean that over, so I'm thinking about removing those. But I guess I could just jack up that first. Just jack up the outside to tip it in. That's probably what I'll do. And then we'll put a couple bolts in, and then we should be able to remove these little green casters at the bottom. And then you have, that's a pivoting, that's a fixed, that's a pivoting wheel. I almost wish they were all pivoting, with those being able to lock straight. Maybe they are. Let's see. No, they're straight. Because I don't even think I'm going to be able to. The problem with having that straight is you're not going to be able to sit there and shimmy it back and forth, you know, to get it against the wall to push it straight in. So I'll probably just have to use one of my pallet jacks or something. I have one there and another one out there. We'll just lift it up in the middle and just push it back. Ooh. Gotta get some more bolts in. Two bolts on the bottom, just in loosely. These two in loosely. This one up here in loosely. And this one over here has been fighting me. Like, it doesn't line up. Like 90% of the bolt hole lines up and the rest doesn't. So the bolt kept falling over and it messed up a thread. So we had to chase it with the tap. And it's deep inset into a hole, so even funner. Hopefully, I think we got it now. None of my seams are lined up, so we'll get that in, and then hopefully we can line up the seams a little bit better. I have the back jacked up, then this jack is pushing the front of this onto the back of that other one. Kind of a nightmare, but we're getting it. I don't know if this cabinet's tweaked, or since these are two different pieces, they're a little bit different, but we're getting it. Or it's just sitting on completely uneven concrete, or it shouldn't be that different between there and there, those two wheels. Okay, we've got that lined up as close as it's going to be. Let's see if we can... Yeah, it's going in. Okay, good. Now try to line everything up. You know, we're just sticking up 1/8 of an inch. Just stuff that nobody will ever even see except for me. But we got to do it right the first time because I'm never doing it again. Theoretically, you never take these apart because you just transport it just like this. Like if you were going to transport it somewhere, you would just leave it all attached and pull it up onto a trailer. Kind of annoying, but this cabinet, like, something's not square. I mean, these are two different pieces, but they should still be square. Like, I'm trying to even square this cabinet up to this, and it's not working. Right now, I have, let's see, I have a gap this sticks out, this one sticks out, and then this one sticks out. So this cabinet is leaning forward and this one's leaning backwards. So this one's leaning forward. So that would make the back, if it's leaning forward, higher, but it's not. It's actually lower by almost 1/4 of an inch. And this one's leaning back. So if I even put it straight, this back one would be leaning down probably 3/8 of an inch. So we'd be down 3/8 of an inch, and this would be high 3/8 of an inch. Something you can't really notice it on the front. It's just annoying. I'm trying to pull it like out of whack to make it as flat as possible on the top. But I'm straightening this cabinet with this cabinet. At first I was trying to do it with this cabinet too, because this can move in and out a little bit. And maybe this, I just bolted it down. You screw it down through the top. You screw it right into this stainless steel top with just four lag bolts. And then from the underside, you actually put 4 bolts up into the top as well. So, I mean, that could, even if you leaned that back, it doesn't even matter. It's still not flush with the bottom cabinet, which should be your square point. It's just annoying. I don't know if that's tweaked a little bit. That's why I was having so much trouble getting that back bolt in. Like if it got tweaked one way or the other. Like this corner's pulled out or something. I don't know if we can look down it and see. It shouldn't be. I mean, there's a couple little dings and dents on it, but nothing that should have tweaked it. It would all be just in manufacturing. I don't know if you guys can see down that edge. Probably no better than I can. It's straight. It's just 1/4 inch out on the top, which is annoying as crap. So, okay. I'll just bolt it up how it is, I guess. And then we have one more piece that goes just up here. It doesn't continue over here. Just as this half. If you have room for another side cabinet, boom, boom, then you can get two. This is a 73-inch version. They have a 56-inch version. Then you can get 2 top cabinets that are shorter, and they fill out the length. But otherwise, you just have a 73. So we'll do that. I figured I'd get the top cabinet. Otherwise, it's just junk up there that gets dust on it. But if I have a little bit, it has the same type of door. If I just have a little top cabinet that goes up, it's like 18 inches or something else like that, then I can put stuff in there and close the door and keep some, grinding dust and stuff off of it. That wasn't that bad priced. Neither was a top hutch. This was the most expensive part, which is understandable because there's so many moving parts. That was the second most expensive part, and I don't understand why that is as expensive as it is. I mean, there's a couple drawers, there's 4 drawers, but I mean, you don't have that many glides. I do not understand the price point of this unit right here. This is close to 2,000 pounds. Right. It goes about right there. But it needs to go back almost a foot. So I think we just get the pallet jack and lift it and set it in place. I just had to throw a square on there. And there is I got it sitting on the back. There's a solid 3/16 of an inch gap back there. So it's made, it's not like twisted, it's actually made that way. It's all welded up, just off square a little bit, this side cabinet. So I think I'm going to call Harbor Freight and see what we can do about this. I don't know, I have it bolted up, I'm just being nitpicky, but that's just annoying. So this one's straight. This one's not. Let's see if we can throw the square on that. Let's see. If we throw the square on this one. Yeah, that's dead nuts. I decided these were fixed wheels, and so I couldn't position it back against the wall because this end has to swing in. But if I put the fixed wheels at this end, then you can drive it in and then just park it. So we're moving those wheels to those wheels, so we have to lift it off the ground. Yeah, we're like 6 inches off the ground with the pallet jack. It doesn't mind. We got extra braces because now I got to stick my head under there and crawl under there. So 2,000 pounds on you doesn't feel very good, especially when you're removing the wheels and it's just straight down. Fixed casters. Now, I generally like to have a toolbox kind of leaning backwards. I don't know. So I'll put little, probably just chunks of conveyor belt, little thick or tire under each wheel. Just so it has something cushion to sit on and it doesn't want to like ever wiggle around. It is still an utter mess. I still haven't found spaces for everything. We're getting there though. So I used to have the mill and then the lathe. So the mill was right here and the lathe was over there. So the mill just goes there, right there right now with its toolbox that just holds most of its tooling right here. Because that fits perfectly underneath there. That still needs to go. Not sure what I'm doing with that yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to make room for it over there. This toolbox, I think, needs to find a home, not at my house. This little one, it's such a small little thing. I don't even know if it's worth selling or just putting that in the shed. It's so small. Same with this one. I don't know. Some of these are just so little that, I mean, you can just pick that up and stack that on that one if you need to. But still working, trying to make room for, I mean, we just got stuff everywhere. Stuff is just strewn out the whole shop. I can't fit nothing because of this thing. I've been transferring over tools. Tools do not fit from that one into here. There's way more drawers, but the drawers are shallower. Like a lot of the main drawers are shallower. So even though this, like this setup right here, have a video on it. These little nails are welded to just a sheet of steel that comes all the way over here. Like this wrench used to fit, but now it doesn't. I've never seen drawers this shallow. I think most drawers I've seen are like 1 3/4, like the smallest. These are 1.5 inches. So they're super skinny, so they could fit a couple more, but they carry on over here. And I mean, that one they're probably like 2 inches or something, 2 1/4, but we're working at it. I still need to get this out of the way so I can open this up, and I need to fill some of those up with stuff. We got a lot of blow molds, and I still need to get the one up here, so I got to put that up there. So that's where a lot of the blow molds are going to go, just up here in a cabinet, so you can just close off and keep out of your way, out of sight, out of mind. Tools that you just never use, get them out of your main work area. I bought this toolbox just for the lathe, and it was too tall, so we just mounted some 2x4s to the bottom because the original wheels, and then we just have rollerblade wheels underneath. I mean, you can see it's just a 1/4 inch off the ground. Actually, rollerblade wheels actually move super effortlessly. There we go. So the last piece up there, I haven't been able to find somebody to help me move it yet, because I think I just got to do that one by hand. So here it is right here. I was able to take the door off, and that took off probably I want to say 40 pounds. So we got that. So I think I'm going to bring my high lift pallet jack in here and lift it up. I mean, that'll lift it up 3.5 feet in front, and then maybe you can get under and squat it and just put it up there. It's a little recessed, so it kind of falls down in there. Figure I put this piece of cardboard on there and I'll slide back, and this piece of cardboard I can just either pull out or just kind of remove it back in there, but it's going to scratch up that whole edge otherwise. So you get over your head.
I don't know, that's the problem.
You had a squat lift?
Yes, I'm gonna do that next. Okay. Ready?
You got it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes!
Okay, go. Just push it.
I'm trying.
Pick up. Hold on. Hold on. That's up there now.
Give me a cramp.
They did not have one of these to look at the store. Oops, we unlocked. So it's like a completely different design than this, where this goes in and kind of tucks. This one doesn't. This one's way cheaper. Whatever. The floor is not level. I actually have the front like on a 3/4 inch piece of plywood. And the back was just on the concrete. There we go. Now it can move itself. This needs to go outside and get a bath. Oh, this is like effortless. This feels like nothing. It's amazing how dirty stuff gets. That's going to be just as dirty in 2 years from now. You know, it's just going to be like that, you know, everywhere. It just, when you grind metal and weld in a shop, or I don't know, it just is what it is. Guess you could wax it or something, but I don't know if that's going to keep the dust off. There's really nothing you can do. Anybody got some tips to keep the dust off besides putting a cover over it? But I'm not going to do that. Got to use it. If it gets scratches and dents and dust, it's a working tool. Has to earn its money, earn its keep. Are you staring at me? Sometimes it looks like you're looking into my soul, dog. So when you see toolboxes, usually it's just, you see it by the width, and that's what people go by. But one of the reasons I got this toolbox is I wanted a deep toolbox, which most professional toolboxes are. So I mean, this is about this is how far like a standard toolbox you'd get from Home Depot or something would come out. You know? You got about that distance. The thing with getting a deeper toolbox, this is a 24-inch, is you essentially get 50% more drawer space for the exact same space. You know? Yeah, it comes out into the room 4 more inches, but usually that doesn't matter. Usually you have wall space that's a necessity, and 4 more inches out from the wall doesn't really matter. It looks a little bit different without all the stickers and stuff on it and dust. Actually shined up pretty good. I'm actually impressed. This has actually been a great toolbox. I have no regrets on this one. This one right here, I cleaned this one up as well. Put a lick of paint on it. The paint job that, it was originally red because that's the only color Harbor Freight used to sell. And the guy had painted it black to match something else. And he just sprayed over dust and everything. You can see how rough the paint is. But I kind of sanded down a bunch of runs. He had runs everywhere. And just did another lick of black paint, just spray paint. And it actually looks pretty presentable. We actually have somebody coming out right now to buy this. So we'll see. So that one can get out of here. Still not sure what I'm doing with this. but not bad, right? Nice and clean. And it is gone, laid down in there, but boom. So help offset the cost of this behemoth. So the Series 3 would have saved me a fair amount of money, but there's a couple distinguishing features of why I didn't go with it. One, when this top is open, this is right at your forehead. It sticks out almost 5 inches right into your forehead, so you can't put your head into the cabinet. You can see that only sticks out maybe 2. Second reason is it's tapered on top. You can't get a top cabinet, so no top cabinet. Almost 3 more inches. But one of the things that just drove me nuts on it is you have this weird latch release thing that you got to slide over, but it's already broken at this location, so it's falling apart, and it's even missing down here. You see there's like these little things you're supposed to reach your finger under and hold over to actually unlock the drawer. Annoying. Let's see if this side cabinet on this one is level. Oh yeah, it's perfectly level. It's nice and square. Don't. Yeah, no issues at all. Okay, we're at a place where everything is put together. It's been over 2 weeks since this stuff was first delivered. Not everything is put away yet, but the majority of stuff is put away. I have to use it for a while to figure out where exactly I want its home to be. But we still have a couple empty drawers. That one's about half. I think I have one over there, and that one's only probably a quarter of the way full of just, there's still just a bunch of empty spots in there for stuff that I don't know what to do with. This up here is pretty much full. Side cabinet's pretty full. I'm not going to go through all the drawers for you. This is actually, I'm glad I did that. I like this top thing. This is great for those blow molds. We kind of played around in here, mounted all the angle grinders with a bracket that I made that used to screw to a shelf. But we're pretty full up in here. Got all of our nut and bolt collection. Some of these are actually empty. I had to go buy a couple more because I didn't fill everything up. But I thought I'd tell you guys, people are going to ask what I paid for this. No, this isn't sent to me for free. So I do want to mention there are some issues with this. One of the nice things about this particular toolbox is it does have a lifetime warranty, which is that's pretty rare in the toolbox, or in an item that's not a tool industry. But this cabinet, I have not called them yet. I need to call them, because either they'll give me, reading on forums and stuff, they'll give me a big discount or some sort of discount on that, or they'll just send me a new one, and I haven't decided yet. One thing, I never got it to line up perfectly. I did. So the front of all these wheels, I put about a 1/4 inch spacer, so the whole toolbox leans backwards, so that the drawers never get momentum and want to roll out. But also, it's like half a degree leaning backwards. That's what I want. I want it perfectly level to half a degree, so when you pull out a drawer, it just, wherever you put it, it stays. And actually, that one's creeping out just a little bit. But if you had it leaning forward, you pull out a drawer and it just shoots out, and then another one can shoot out, and you don't want that. But this right here, I have that space on all of them, so all the back wheels should be leaning back and touching. This back wheel, I thought maybe once I put weight under it, but it is off the ground. Let's see if I can spin it. Yeah, you guys see this? It is off the ground about a 1/4 inch. I got the level here, I measured, and it should not be off the ground a 1/4 inch. It should be touching. Maybe it's a little bit low, like 1/8 inch, but there's no weight on this wheel at all. Yeah, this one's spaced up, but so is this one the same amount, and that one. So it should be leaning back uniformly. So I think this entire cabinet right here is tweaked where this side and this side. So this side right here is tweaked this way, and that side is tweaked that way. So it's twisted like this. Somehow it's twisted just like this, keeping that back wheel up and keeping that top down. And you can also see some of that in the gaps. I mean, it's small, but I mean, we got a lot smaller gap here and it gets bigger over here. It's almost touching right here. And at the bottom, I go down to about 1/4 of an inch. So we'll see. I'll call about that. There are a couple other little minuscule issues that I wrote down. What is it? Like this drawer right here in the right light, it looks like somebody drug something across the paint. There's a mark all the way across, like little dots, like a bug jumped across it. But this is, I think it's all powder coated. And then this one wasn't latching good at first. And I don't know if you can see there's a bend back here. Like they bent it, I think, to make the latch grab or something. I mean, because it's been done like after paint. That's the only one that's like that. And this drawer makes a weird clicking thing, so I'll just have them send me, you know, I guess 4 new hinges or something. We'll have spare hinges, but you can do that anytime you want since it's lifetime warranted. That's the only one that was really scuffed. Everything else was actually, I mean, it's all really well packed. They do a good job. So, bottom toolbox right there was $3,000 originally, $2,400 after 20%, roughly. So $2,400. Little stainless steel top. That one I was telling myself I was just gonna make it, and then I'm like, nah, let's just buy it and be done with it. It was $300, $240 after 20%. So $2,400, $240, and then the cabinet up here, the entire top hutch they call it, that was $1,000 minus 20%, $800. So that was $800. The top one up there, that one's actually probably the most reasonably priced one. That was, the cheat sheet says it was $650 originally, down to $550 with 20% off. So that one actually is not bad price compared to everything else. This, I think I said it before, is the most expensive. It's expensive for what it is. I don't think it should be that much. It was originally $1,400 down to like $1,100 after 20% off. So before tax, we're a little over $5,000. After tax, we're just shy of $5,500. Now, you're like, that's a ton of money, but if you look back just to a couple years ago, like a year and a half ago, this same setup would be about $8,500 from Harbor Freight, like on sale, compared to from videos that I watched. And when this first came out in like 2019, this setup right here was close to $10,000. If you got another top and another side hutch, you would be, I think, a little over $10,000. This is an exact clone of the Snap-on, I think it's the Classic. That's about $20,000 to $25,000. So that's where Harbor Freight was coming in. Where originally they were about half the price of that. Now they're about 1/4 of the price of that, which is actually getting a little bit more reasonable. Something with a lifetime warranty. Definitely not the cheapest toolbox out there, but I think I'm actually really pleased with like the quality that I see for what it is. There's some blemishes and stuff. Not flawless, but that's to be expected for 1/4 of the price to even less of what a retail, 1/5 the price, 1/6 the price of something you'd get from the tool trucks. I don't think I'm going to leave the meal there, and these are those 2 little boxes. I don't think those are going to stay there. I just put them there to kind of get them out of my way. I still got a bunch of weird empty space up here. I think the meal is going to go over there, and the welder's going to come over here, and that toolbox right there I think is going to go, and there's a shelf behind it that's going to go, and I think I'm going to put my 52-inch there and put stuff in the drawers and keep that, and you know, I don't know. It's a nightmare to clean out a shop completely. So I got to let this kind of stew and move stuff around to make sure it's a functional toolbox. I got to get back to fixing stuff and repairing stuff. I know people asked before for a toolbox tour. This is not the time because it's not where I'm going to leave the stuff. So if people want to see a toolbox tour and an update on this toolbox in a couple months or something like that, we'll go forward with that. But you guys pretty much saw, and a shop tour, I guess, an updated one. You guys pretty much saw in this shop on this video in the background. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. Bye. Oh, yep. Good job. See how strong that is? That barely even deflects. Too bad we didn't get the bank of the drawers on top. Then you can jump all the way up there. Okay. Stay. Leave it. 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 Get it. Good job. Look at these people. You see them? They're still watching us do the toolbox. No, over here. Right there. See him? Okay, let's go.